Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I'm going to show you this morning is a good example of what to watch out for around wolf in sheep's clothing, because when the New York Times puts out a centrist article from a conservative, you know something's up. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below, especially when it comes to our gun rights. And I cannot wait to hear what you guys think in the comments field. And if you are new or you're a returning viewer, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and making sure you turn the notification bell on. We would love to have as many of you as we can to get into the fold to help pass the blessing of the Second Amendment along to the next generation, of which we do on this channel twice a day. Thank you so much in advance for your consideration, but my brothers and sisters, everything is linked. Again, this is an example of something that the left will do. This is around the approach to gun control. That's a centrist approach. It's a more controlled, more metered, more measured approach, because they're trying to dissuade your defenses and then basically come in around on the far left. Check this out. I'm going to burn through these first three really quickly, and then I'm going to show you how fast this turns. Check this out, because this is an important thing to understand. This is an opinion guest essay in the New York Times. A school shooting came to Nashville. Country music can help stop the next one. Now, keep in mind, of course, it's a tragedy, of course, there are terrible things, and we have solutions to stop it. The solution is not an infringement upon the rights of everyone in the United States. It's to actually harden these things. But anyway, let's keep going. They say we love our guns down south. And by the way, caveat, I'm in the South, and I was raised in the South, and yeah, we do. It's part of our culture. Anyway, let's keep going. And it's true, they are part of the pageantry of our beloved Southland, in tune with the equally nostalgic heartstrings we pull for Mother God, Freedom, and Country. It's pretty accurate so far. Country music plays a central role in forming the South's gun mythology, from songs like Big Iron to A Country Boy Can Survive. Now, it's not mythology. It's actually rooted in the understanding of our Constitution. In the South, and I can speak to this from firsthand, in the South, that's something that's part of adulthood. That's part of having your rights, being an adult. You vote and you have your gun rights. You have a hunting culture. You have the ability and responsibility to own a firearm responsibly. That's part of our culture in the South. It's one of the reasons the left can't stand us, is because we're so doggone independent. But anyway, let me keep going. I told you guys I would burn through this quick. Nashville, and as a musician, writer, and historian, I now believe that country music has a unique opportunity to shepherd conservative Southerners, a demographic essential to the passage of any meaningful legislation to the table to negotiate gun reform. Now, one more thing, and then we'll hit that. Though we lean left politically, talking about the people writing this article, our signature song, Wagon Wheel, has become a mainstream anthem for audiences that consistently lean right. When I hear it blasting from a pickup truck, I often spy an NRA sticker on the bumper. Ooh. In my experience, country stars tend towards centrism. The right-wing groups we most often encounter are not our bandmates, but our audiences. So, centrism, moderation, in the middle, gun mythology. Check this out. Shepherding Southern conservatives. You see the soft tone that they're throwing in here around gun reform? Well, now we're going to hit a hard switch. Check this out, because this is what you need to watch out for when you're reading these articles. What the South needs now is an anti-assault weapons movement driven by voices from the center. There's center again. By interdenominational faith leaders, by students. So they've said centrist, central, gun mythology, shepherding Southern conservatives. Do you see all the centrist language? This is important, because whenever you see this from the New York Times, a known gun control outlet, this is where it's going. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's a snake in the grass approach. This is to let down your defenses, because here we go. Conservative musicians are always vocal when it comes to the culture wars, but stars with moderate views tend not to weigh in publicly. The motive is genuine. We don't want to offend anyone. But in times as dire as these, silence is complicity. You notice anything there? Sounds kind of like silence is violence. Silence is complicity. Sounds kind of like one of the main left-wing talking points of gun control, but again, moderate views. Do you see what's happening right here? This is a leftist basically marauding around as a centrist or a moderate in order to shepherd Southern conservatives towards gun control. But it's moderate, it's common sense gun control, right? It wouldn't be anything extreme, except for this last little part, which they jam towards the end. Now that the tragedy of school gun violence has come to Nashville, our city is poised to help lead the nation towards effective regulations such as red flag laws, safe storage laws, a ban on military-grade weapons, stricter background checks, and the repeal of permitless carry laws. You could not have pulled a more far-left sentence from Everytown for gun safety. The point of doing this video is, A, when you see the New York Times or MSNBC or Politico come out and say, we need to approach this from the middle, there's an ulterior motive because they're about to pull a bait and switch on you real quick towards the end, like this article just did. So that's the first reason I wanted to show you that. The second thing is when you see a gun control advocate start to talk about from a moderate perspective, a centrist approach from the middle, shepherding, using very gentle words like that, yeah, keep reading the article because then all of a sudden you're going to get the main left-wing talking points for gun control jammed right down your throat towards the end. And now let's break these down. So you've got, let's see here, red flag laws, dramatically unconstitutional, and they will end up in the Supreme Court at some point in time because they completely trample your rights. Safe storage laws, well, you require a universal background check and a universal record system to go and check on who has those guns. You need a centralized database. That's a problem. Oh, let's see, a ban on military-grade weapons. Well, I don't know what you consider military-grade weapons. You've already called for an assault weapons ban in this article. So again, what's the centrist and the moderate? There is no centrist and moderate. That is a game. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing approach. Then we need stricter background checks, which is ironic because background checks are run by the federal government through the FBI, the NICS background check system. What do you mean by stricter background checks? Do you mean state-level background checks? That's 2 levels of background checks. Do you mean universal background checks where you have a serial number background of every single gun and you know where every single one of them is, creating a database, which would be really useful in safe storage laws? Or do you want to repeal the permitless carry laws, which is constitutional carry, which is now 26 states out of 50? Does this person sound like a moderate, a centrist? Or do you think this is a left-wing activist walking around like they're a centrist because they happen to be in Nashville in a moderate South city? Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.